Hey, how you doing? Justin here for lesson 10. Hope you're enjoying the journey so far. Lots of exciting things coming up today. To start off with, we're going to check out the weak fingered G chord, which is just using fingers 3 and 4. Particularly useful for changing to C chord and A minor and F. So really useful at this point in your journey. And while we're at alternate fingerings, we're going to check out how to play an A chord using just the first finger, making a little bar chord. We're going to revisit the F chord and look at making chord changes to and from the F, when you should start doing that, and some of the things you're going to encounter when you do. We're then going to have a little chat about feeling the frets with our fingers. So as you're playing the chords, you know that your fingers should be right up next to the frets. So we're going to talk a little bit more about just being aware of the feelings in your fingers and when your fingers are in the right position, because you don't have to look at the guitar. It's one of those things often beginners wonder about, is how you can play without actually looking at the fretboard. But you'll find that you can start to feel where your fingers are within the fret. It's kind of just something to think about and start to kind of develop your awareness of. We're then going to launch into a little bit more scale stuff. We're going to look at playing the C major scale now with alternate picking. Hopefully you've got it together with the all down picking and you're confident that you know the scale. So now we can focus a little bit more on using down and up picking. It's going to present a few interesting challenges. And we're also going to start using the major scale for an improvisation. So I've got a 2-minute backing track, which is how much you should be practicing for, just to get you going on. We'll talk a little bit about the basics of improvising and how you make improvising being making up your own melody using the scale over the set chord changes that are within the key. It's super duper fun, especially if you've not done that before. It's going to be great. We're going to have a little look rhythmically at a thing called a push. Now this is one of those things that's potentially a little hard for some of you to get going with. You have to get the chord changes real solid, but we'll talk about more of that in the lesson. But it's just when chords are played a little earlier than they might normally be. You change chords at a half a beat earlier, but like before a bar change. It's a real common thing that you're going to encounter, and once you're familiar with it, you can start trying to work it into your playing. And you would use it in the riff for this week, which is La Bamba. It is totally great fun to play La Bamba. A little bit tricky again. We just use all down picks for it, so we're not getting involved with the alternate picking yet, but it's a really great riff. It uses a push in La Bamba, but the chord changes also use the weak fingered 3 and 4 chord. So for many of you, well, at least my left-handed stuff, I found it just too difficult to play that song. So there's other songs that we can check it out while we develop the weak fingered 3 and 4 and work our way up to playing La Bamba. We're going to have a little look at a hammer-on exercise, which is when you play one note and hammer a finger down real hard as well. Part of the reason for that one is preparation for some stuff coming up in the next lesson. Again, I try and preempt, give you some exercises that'll make things a little easier, like the weak the little finger practice that we've done in the last lesson will help you with the weak fingered 3 and 4 chord today, I hope. And we're going to have a look at as well some common chord progressions and how that kind of works, building on the knowledge that we had from last time of the chords in the key. So as you see, we've got a pretty full lesson ahead. Let's get stuck in.